Let's get more on this from Bruce DelValle, who's a litigator and constitutional law expert. Bruce, really appreciate you being with us. I want to just start by getting your reaction to the sentence itself. 40 months, $20,000.
It seemed about right, to be quite honest with you. The thing that really stood out was he did tamper with evidence, and you can't do that. You can't subvert the system. On one hand, President Trump and some other folks are saying, well, wait a minute, how can you send someone to prison for talking about something that didn't happen? But on the other hand, you can't lie to Congress, and you can't tamper with witnesses. So I think it seemed about right. Judge Jackson was very courageous. I think she did the right thing. But that's what judges are there for.
Right. Senator Lindsey Graham said today that under our system of justice, President Trump has all the legal authority in the world to review the case in terms of commuting the sentence or pardoning Mr. Stone for the underlying offense. What's your take on what's within the president's jurisdiction and sort of just your take on his involvement in the case?
This is probably not going to be very popular, but I believe he does. I used to be the chief legal advisor to the chief judge of the U.S. federal court in Miami. We were under a death threat every day. And one of my favorite times, we had an attorney come in from New York, and he stood up to the jury and he said, someone objected, and he goes, well, I'm just here to try to make sure the trial is fair. And he was a federal prosecutor. My judge quickly cleared the courtroom, told him to stand up and said, listen to me. If you talk, you will go to jail. If you ever say that again, you will go to jail. Your job is to get a conviction. His job is to make sure you don't get one. There's only one person, and then he pointed to me, and maybe him, in this whole courtroom that cares about a fair trial. The president's job is to oversee the Department of Justice. The Department of Justice works for the president. The Department of Justice has a job. The president can oversee that job. He can be involved in that. The judge's job is to make sure the trial is fair. The Department of Justice's job is to get the conviction. Sometimes they become overinvested, and I think this was that case. It really was ludicrous to ask for 7 to 9 years. One wonders, they quit. How would anyone have known they quit if they didn't call up the press and tell the press they quit? I've heard a lot of my friends are kind of shocked when I tell them that there is no such thing as an independent Department of Justice. They are not independent. They have a job. Their job is to convict criminals. Sometimes they're wrong, sometimes they're right, but that is their job.
Quickly before we go, would you say that the sentence, what he got, if we look at the terms of that, was that on the lower end or,
I think it was pretty much right where it needed to be. I think Judge Jackson sent a little bit of a message. They asked for 3 to 4 years. She gave 3+, and that little 4-month increment is a little odd. You generally see something along 42 months, but to have the 40-month, there was a little bit of a message, but I think she got it exactly right. I think that's right. I applaud her for standing up. The president does make it tough, but it's certainly within his rights to manage his departments, and the Department of Justice is one of them.
Bruce DelValle, thank you for lending your legal mind to this discussion.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you.